YouTube vinyl community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about the Beach Boys in 1970, featuring Brian Wilson live on stage. As you know, or if this is the first time you're getting into the Beach Boys, back in the early days, in the 60s and 70s, Brian Wilson did not tour much. After 1964, basically up until about 1975, he wasn't really on stage that much. And so it's a big deal to talk about when Brian was on stage because it's pretty big in the Beach Boys story. And in early 1970, Brian joined the guys on stage to help out when Mike was sick. At the end of the year, he jumped back on stage with the guys for one whole show and then part of the next show the next night. But it's pretty monumental in their story, just for the lore of Brian Wilson on stage. So enjoy this cartoon coming up. Again, another cartoon on the Giggens channel, but thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the show. The Beach Boys, live with Brian Wilson in 1970. Written, drawn, music, effects, everything by Giggens. In February of 1970, Brian Wilson returned to the stage for the first time since August 1967. Brian was filling in for Mike Love, who was having a very difficult time with his health. Mike decided to go on a fast where he barely ate anything beyond some yogurt and he would carry around a huge jug of apple juice everywhere he went. Long story short, he basically had a meltdown, either from exhaustion or intense malnutrition. And as he was put into the hospital, he actually had to be straitjacketed. He obviously got better, but in the meantime, Brian stepped up to the challenge and joined the guys on tour. They started the tour at the Kennedy Pavilion at Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington, playing with Paul Revere and the Raiders on February 26, 1970. For these 4 shows that Brian played, him and Carl would sing Mike's parts, which must have made for a very cool show. But yeah, February 26th, they opened up the tour. On the 27th, they played the Queen Elizabeth Theater in Vancouver for a 7 o'clock and a 9:30 show. On February 28th, they played the Seattle Opera House in Seattle, Washington for 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:30 p.m., and ended the tour on March 1st at the Portland Civic Auditorium in Portland, Oregon for 2 shows, 6 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. The next set of shows that Brian Wilson was involved with took place on November 4th and 5th at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles. The Whiskey A Go-Go had always been known as a pretty hip place, and by this time, it had been the first time in years, since June 25th, 1966, that the Beach Boys had played a show in Los Angeles, which was pretty cool. The excitement was amazing. There was a line around the block for this club, and it was the first time that all 6 Beach Boys were on stage together. Pretty incredible. Joining them were Ed Carter on bass, the Captain on keyboards, and Mike Kowalski on percussion, and a 5-piece horn section. Journalists and concert goers have all said that Brian was having a great time and really getting involved in it. He said he was nervous at first, but got really excited about it once he saw how happy everyone was to see him, which must have been so cool for him. Brian's second show with them was cut short, as the drums, amps, and overall volume was killing his ears. Marilyn had to help him off the stage, and he spent a couple days recovering. He said he almost blacked out on stage. After that, Brian's attendance on stage was spotty until the Brian's Back campaign. There were only 2 cameos. There was one in 1971 and another in 1973, literally for split seconds. Bruce Johnston has hinted he has tapes of the November 4th and 5th shows, but only the November 6th show has surfaced, which of course did not have Brian on it. The average set list for this time period was Darlin', Aren't You Glad, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Wake the World, Cotton Fields, Country Air, Sloop John B, Riot in Cell Block Number 9, God Only Knows, Good Vibrations, It's About Time, I Get Around, and usually, this has been speculated, there was a encore of Johnny Be Good, Cool Cool Water, and California Girls. But that's the story of Brian Wilson live with the guys in 1970. So that was it. That was Brian live with the Beach Boys in 1970. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to talk about this year in more detail with Brian live because it's such a fascinating part of the Beach Boys' history to see Brian on stage with them at this point in their career. It's definitely an oddity in their touring situation. So I'd love to see those tapes come out. So Bruce Johnston, if you're watching this,
please release the tapes. I'll come over. I'll bring them to Capitol. I'll hang out. I'll do whatever. We'd all love to see something released with all six of the guys together in 1970 for historical purposes. It's a humongous part of the Beach Boys story, and also let me know if you have to see more things as cartoons. I've been having a lot of fun doing this lately, so it's been a good labor of love to combine my passion of drawing with music. So let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens, and don't forget to add some music to your day.